Hey guys, here at osmvdxreviews.com. You're watching our video review of the Straight Talk LG Optimus Logic. This is a smartphone from LG, and it's on TracFone Straight Talk network, which is actually the CDMA variant here in the United States. And as a result, it isn't a quad-band GSM world phone, but it's again a CDMA variant. This is an Android 2.3 Gingerbread-based Android smartphone. It has pretty low-end specs, but it also is extremely affordable at only $100. It's one of the most inexpensive handsets running Android here in the US, and at the same time it offers a very unique, a very cool aesthetic appeal, very similar actually to the LG L35 series for a TracFone service, but that version of course didn't have Android. Instead it had a proprietary LG interface. This one is actually considered a full smartphone because it has Android on board. Processor wise, it only has an 800 MHz processor, so not the fastest device on the market of course, but it does have all the tasks and the features you would typically want from a smartphone, including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and all those features as considered. It's a very pocket-friendly device because it's extremely small and petite, and also it has a unique design because it looks like there's a small phone encased in a large phone. It looks like there's a phone case on here, but actually it's just part of the design. Again, overall, it's very similar to other LG devices out there that have the same appeal, but it seems like the smaller cousin of the series of Optimus devices out there. We see that we have a home key on the bottom, which is tactile and easy to press, and on the sides we have two capacitive backlit keys that are touch sensitive with haptic feedback, so they vibrate when pressed, and this back and a menu key. So again, it's not like the traditional 4-key interface. LG has simplified that. Taking a look at the hardware, on the left-hand side we have access to a volume rocker, which is easy and tactile to press. The top features a 3.5mm headphone jack and a power on and off key, and what looks like to be a speaker actually is just a piece of decoration. This actually isn't a speaker grill. This is just an area for you to pry off the back so that you can access the battery as well as the micro SD card slot behind the back cover, so you can expand the memory of the media controls if you so do desire. The bottom device features a micro USB for charging and syncing the product, and that's pretty much it as far as ports are considered. Again, powering the device on, one of the immediate downfalls that I noticed with this handset was, even though the screen is extremely sensitive and actually is very responsive, it's easy to navigate through the interface with the display. We were pretty impressed with the sensitivity and the vibrancy of the handset. It actually suffers from extremely poor viewing angles. Of course, we know this is an $100 device without a contract, which for an Android smartphone is very, very cheap. But again, the viewing angles, it turns pretty much black once you start turning the display upwards. Even tilting it at the slightest degree changes the viewing angle nature of the screen itself, which I found to be a little bit unacceptable, especially if I'm going to be looking at the screen like so. Like right now when I'm reviewing the phone and holding up to the camera, actually the screen is kind of entirely black, so it doesn't seem like the color is as well produced as it should have been, which I found a little bit shocking. But overall, it's still a very usable display. It's just not the best viewing angles. As far as resolution is concerned, it isn't the brightest, the most high pixel density. It only is 320 by 240, so it's on the low end of the spectrum. You can definitely see pixels, so if you want an HD display, this probably isn't going to be the one for you. But that said, colors again pop, and so for most people and for most users out there who are moderate and just want this as a first-time smartphone or are just being introduced to the Android atmosphere, then I think this will be a good go without too much of a drawback. Again, 800 MHz processor keeps up with the main interface of the device actually in a pretty good way. I was pretty impressed with that. As far as customization is concerned, LG definitely did some work. It's not the traditional vanilla experience of Android 2.3 Gingerbread. It's more of an interface like LG's S-Class interface put on top. It's a skin layer like HTC Sense or the Samsung TouchWiz skin layer. And as a result, you can see that in the app drawer, instead of having just a traditional up and down view of all your different applications, you can actually divide them by different tabs, and this tab view allows you to organize different applications a little bit easier. You can also add these by managing the categories, and you can drag these tabs up and down, the order of them, like for example applications and games. Sorry that the screen isn't kind of tough to see right now, but you can again drag these tabs back and down for their ordering, and you can add them and rename them, which is always easy and nice to see. Again, a little bit pixelation and not the best viewing angles, but it is what it is. I do like the whole tab drawer thing, which you can actually again add and organize the apps a little bit more easier, and it's a nice feature, nice consideration point by LG. As far as included applications are considered, Straight Talk as well as LG didn't load it with too many bloatware, which we were certainly nice of them to do. We do have a few extras though that we like. For example, there is Polaris Office built in, which allows us to actually, view our Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and PDF documents. So if you're on the go and you want to suddenly view a homework assignment, or if you are writing a report for someone, then you can definitely see it on the device. Now this is a viewer version, so it's a light version. It doesn't allow you to actually edit it, unlike on higher end devices, which actually includes a full version. This device, again, you can only read it. So it's still nice to have, but again, which is actually makes a lot of logical sense because the screen is so small. It measures only 3.2 inches diagonally. Again, a very tiny screen, very small handset. This is, again, one of the smaller Android phones that we've tested ever. So as a result, again, we don't expect it to do too much productivity because the QWERTY keyboard, as a result, is very small, so you don't want to be typing on it too much. So overall, that's a nice applications included. We also have Google Navigation, so it's a free turn-by-turn service as long as you have Wi-Fi or data service. The web browser is there. App Manager allows us to actually open and close applications as they're running. We have a calendar. As far as the camera is considered, it is a 3.0 megapixel fixed focus camera. It is an autofocus, no LED flash either. So it's not the best performance, in the world, but images do take. It does take images very fast, so capture rates are up there, which is impressive. And as far as video capture is concerned, only VGA quality video will be captured. But that said, you do have, again, a lot of capture time, so in case of emergencies, it is still something nice to have. There's an alarm clock on here, contacts, email, gallery, Google Maps, again, Play Music, the Play Store, which allows us to download applications, install new applications. There's a voice recorder and the full YouTube application. Of course, you can also view YouTube pages from the web browser if you install Adobe Flash, which is supported since this is Android 2.3 Gingerbread. So it's nice that you can also view YouTube videos directly from the web browser if you so desire. So overall, not a lot of, again, too many applications pre-installed, but the fair share that is in there, which includes Polaris Office, are nice additions that we are glad that LG decided to put on here, overall. As far as overall performance is considered, you can also long press on the home key to open up a list of recently opened applications, and you can launch the App Manager directly, close applications as well. You can also have live home screens, of course, with Android 2.3, and LG includes a few wallpapers that are pretty colorful and pretty vibrant. You can select from them to change your aesthetic appeal of your phone, or you can also, of course, use live wallpapers. Again, it doesn't include any pre-install, which is kind of interesting. As far as pages are concerned, you have 5 pages to select from and add new widgets and applications from, and that's pretty much it as far as customization is concerned. Call quality on this phone is very strong. We were always in a region where we had reception. The microphone sometimes is a little bit weak. When we're calling users, it did say that sometimes they couldn't really hear us in noisier environments. That said, the speaker is very loud, and the same thing can be said with the back speaker, the speaker phone. Even though the speaker isn't the clearest, it does provide a lot of bass, a lot of response, which is nice because we expected a smaller sound from such a small phone, but it had a pretty good sound quality to it. Again, messaging works as you might expect. The keyboard is a lot smaller, so typing on it is going to be more cramped than usual. But as you get used to it, you can use accelerometer. It gets a little bit better over time. Swipe is not pre-installed. You have to install it yourself as well. And as far as the web browser is concerned, again, 800 megahertz, so it's not going to be the fastest experience in the world, but most pages do load, and you have pinch to zoom support, and Wi-Fi pages do load pretty fast. So overall, that is a nice feature to have, again, because it doesn't take away your minutes as a prepaid phone. So overall, if you're looking for a very low-end basic Android device, I think that the LG Optimus Logic is a good choice to go because it's very low-end and cheap. If you want the best screen in the world or a fast processor, this is definitely not going to be the one for you. But if you want a nice design, a good solid quality feeling phone in the hand, and small and pocketable and portable, perhaps as a first smartphone to have, a backup phone, or for kids, since this is a prepaid handset, and I think that this is a good way to go. Thanks for watching. Your OSM VTX Reviews.